Maybe it's bilingual.
Our sound system has been possessed by demons today.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need a miracle.
Jim, does that look familiar? The problem? I know what you're talking about, Doug. Play it, yes.
Had to warm it up, I guess. So, thank you, Carl, and thank you, PA non-believers, and all of you for coming. It's fun to see all of you again. And Chuck from State College, where's he hiding? Bunch of good friends. Oh, way in the back, yeah. And Annie Laurie says to say hello. She's at the office today, working, filing another lawsuit, and I'll talk about some of that tomorrow. In fact, I think we have 3 things going in Pennsylvania, but that's for tomorrow to talk about. Today I want to do music. It's true, Annie Laurie and I met in 1984 on Oprah Winfrey Show, and on this week's issue of this week's program of Free Thought Radio, which you can hear on the podcast in a few days, we play clips from that 1984 Oprah Show, which was the very first time I had ever publicly spoken about atheism, ever. And just 9 months before, I had sent out my letter of deconverting from the ministry. And I could tell I was kind of nervous, not from being on TV. I'd been on Christian TV before, but I'd never said those words before an audience, and I'd never spoken before a hostile audience before. And you can't see it online. Oprah did a great job, or her producers did a great job of packing that audience with Bible thumpers. And it was really, and I loved it. I thought, this is great. And then watching Ann and watching Annie Laurie, that was the first time also that I had knowingly met any other atheists. And so we have a videotape of that show and that day that Annie Laurie and I actually met. And last year we showed it to our daughter Sabrina. Sabrina's in college now. And last year Sabrina was laughing, not so much at how young we looked, but at that audience. It was actually pretty good TV. So, and it was on that show that Ann Gaylor turned to the audience and said, "Nothing fails like prayer." And you should have heard the gasps. What? She said, "Nothing fails like prayer. The graveyards are filled with people who pray to live." And Oprah said, "Nothing fails like prayer. We'll talk about that after the break." So then we made a bumper sticker, and then Annie Laurie asked me, "Why don't you write a song called Nothing Fails Like Prayer?" I thought, well, that might be a good song, but what style, what should it be? And I couldn't think of a melody, and I said, "Say the phrase." And she said, "Nothing fails like prayer." She just said it. And I said, "Say it again. Nothing fails like prayer." And I got the exact notes of her voice. Nothing fails like prayer. So there's the song. The farmers pray for precipitation, and then they say, "In God we trust." Then along comes a drought and dries their crops out and turns their prayers into dust. The next time they need some assistance, they should take the advice of Mark Twain, who said, "It's better to check the weather report before you pray for rain." Nothing fails like prayer. Nothing fails like prayer. Use your mind and you will find that nothing fails like prayer. You reach the final week of the school year, but you haven't studied your best. So you stay up and cram for the final exam and pray for God's help on the test. Then you answer those questions with assurance that the Lord will help you sail through. When the results are returned, what have you learned? God's no smarter than you. Nothing fails like prayer. Nothing fails like prayer. Use your mind and you will find that nothing fails like prayer. You ask a supernatural power for sunshine on your wedding day. Then along comes a thunder shower and washes your prayers away. When things go right, you praise the Almighty and you give thanks in Jesus' name. But when things go wrong, you change your song and God never gets the blame. Nothing fails like prayer. Nothing fails like prayer. Use your mind and you will find that nothing fails like prayer. How many centuries will it take us before we realize there are no magic forces in nature, no watchful eyes in the sky? Robert Ingersoll said, a single plow is much more effective than 100 prayers a day. The hands that help are better far than lips that pray. Nothing fails like prayer. Nothing fails like prayer. Use your mind and you will find that nothing fails like prayer. Piano, do you know? It sounds like a heavenly choir. It sounds like there's a spirit in there. It's not too bad though, is it?
No.
Well, that'll work. All right, we'll go with it. Beware of dogma, it wants a fight. Beware of dogma, it will ignite a holy war by itself. Beware of dogma, it'll trap your mind. Religious dogma, it'll make you blind. Beware of dogma, it's not designed to let you think for yourself. If we let it out in the universe, there will be no doubt everything is worse. Beware of dogma, don't let it loose, that unchained dogma. It'll reproduce, tie up your dogma. There's no excuse for ignorance anymore. Beware of dogma, don't let it loose, that unchained dogma. It'll reproduce, tie up your dogma. There's no excuse for ignorance anymore. Please clean up after your dogma. This is one of the very first free thought songs I ever wrote. This was back in, when was this? 1984. how intelligent or kind you may have been, you just can't win. It was all over before it began. You were doomed in the fall of man. You can't win. I was dead. I was dead before my life had begun. I was dead because of something my great-great-grandparents had done. That's no fun. Adam and Eve didn't do any wrong. They were set up all along. They couldn't win. I've been told I must believe on Jesus Christ to be saved. But first, I must admit that I am totally depraved. Before you go pointing that finger of blame, just remember, Eve was framed. She couldn't win. God, who's so insecure that he needs to send me to hell, is the kind of God who'd probably get a big kick out of damning all the Christians as well. They never could tell. It was all over before it began. I was doomed in the fall of man. But as a skeptic, I must insist Adam and Eve didn't really exist, and neither does God then for that matter. And until the day that old myth is shattered, we cannot win. No, you just can't win. Okay, I'm going to try out a new song. I've only done it once before, and I'm still working out the kinks. I did it in Denver for the Atheists Alliance. When was that? A couple weeks ago? 3-4 weeks ago? And I got about half of the thumbs went up. So I'm going to try it out, and you know that's how you polish a song. You try things out, and then you throw away verses. But this is very personal about it's a love story that went wrong. And you know, not all the relationships last forever. This song is called Unfaithful. It was good while it lasted, but all good things must end. And now you say you still want to be my friend. But don't you know that I was just using you? And don't deny that you were using me too. By faith, I do not love you anymore. You know that I've been seeing doubt, and doubt I cannot live without. So now I have to show you out the door. I want you to know, it isn't me, it's you. I have no doubt that you'll find someone new. want you to know it isn't me, it's you. I have no doubt that you'll find someone new. Yeah, that's better. So let's start from the beginning. Well, okay, I think it needs some work. There's something a little bit wrong with that, but if there's enough thumbs up, we'll keep working on that too.
Good. Yep. 2. He doesn't want us looking at all the thumbs. Yeah.
Somebody's doing this though.
They're skeptics.
Now the pedal's not working. The left one? Oh. There we go. When I was 4 years old, I had a little friend named Joshua. Whenever I was alone, he would come over to play. Cookies, cartoons, and punch. He liked all the same things that I like. Cheerios and milk for lunch. Kitty cats, balloons, and kites. We were blood brothers, pals forever. As close as we could be. Nobody else could see him, but he was real to me. Sometimes when I was sad, I would send Joshua a letter. He never wrote me back, but he would always come right over to play. I'd never been to his house, but I knew exactly where he lived. And his daddy was oh so nice to let us have such fun every day. We were blood brothers, pals forever. As close as we could be. Nobody else could see him, but he was real to me. When I was 5 years old, I got really busy with schoolwork and many new friends to get to know. Joshua moved away. Sometimes I missed him so. We had had such good times together, but I know he had to go. It works out much better that way. We were blood brothers, pals forever. He was my very best friend. Nobody else could see him. I now know he was just pretend. Now that some years have passed, I can look back and smile at my childhood, at the times when it hurt to grow up, like when Joshua moved away. me solutions for the meaning of life. So many religions, what confusion, what strife. They spread like a cancer. They rise and they fall. But I have an answer that does away with them all. I don't need Jesus to give me a smile. I don't need some holy book to make my life worthwhile. Just give me reason, fairness and love, because true human happiness does not come from above. They preach me their sermons, though I'm doing just fine. Can't they live their own lives and let me live mine? They say I'm a sinner who's blind in both eyes. Oh, but I am a winner, and I can see through those lies. I don't need Jesus to give me a smile. I don't need a holy book to make my life worthwhile. Just give me reason, fairness and love, because true human happiness does not come from above. Well, imagine that song with a big backup choir and an organ and all of that going on, you know, that kind of thing. This piano is cutting it okay. And thank you for bringing the piano. A brand new song that we just heard, we played on the radio a couple weeks ago. Annie Laurie was getting ready. We were having a fundraiser at our house, and she had the CD, Mandy Patinkin CD playing. And she said, "Dan, come in here. Mandy Patinkin is singing about science." And he's singing this really gorgeous little tune that I'd never heard before. And I thought, I wonder who wrote that. It turns out it was written by Cole Porter, of all people. And I thought I knew everything Cole Porter had ever written, because he's one of my favorites. Cole Porter, who was an atheist, by the way. Cole Porter, who wrote all those great American songbook songs. Cole Porter, who not only had to come out of the atheistic closet, but another closet he had to come out of as well. His whole motto was live and let live, and he wrote his musical Can-Can as a direct slap to the censors who were trying to limit free speech and all that. But here's a song that came out of a musical in the 1930s called Nymph Errant. The song is called very simply Experiment. Before I leave these portals, like all unfortunate mortals, there's just one final message I would give to you. We all have learned reliance on the sacred teachings of science. So I hope in life you never will decline in spite of Philistine defiance, to do what all good scientists do. Experiment, make it your motto day and night. Experiment, and it will lead you to the light. The apple at the top of the tree is never too hard to achieve, is never too high to achieve. So take an example from Eve. Experiment. Be curious, though interfering friends may frown. Get furious at each attempt to hold you down. If this advice you'll only employ, the future will offer you infinite joy and merriment. Experiment, and you'll see. Isn't that cute? Just a simple little lyric that I wish I had known that song years ago. He also wrote "Anything Goes." He wrote a song called "Live and Let Live," was one of his favorite songs. And a lot of the tunes that he wrote, we know that he was having. He wrote a lot of the songs for specific men with whom he was having these affairs. A dancer named Boris Kochko and an architect, and so. Biographers and historians know what man this song was written for, but he wrote his songs in such a way that anyone could sing them. Male or female or gay or non-gay, it wouldn't matter. In fact, a lot of born-again Christians get married singing Cole Porter songs to each other, not realizing what's in their mind, what was not in his mind. You know? You'd be so nice to come home to, you'd be so nice by the fire, all these great lyrics. So I thought I would try my hand at a Cole Porter type song. Not that I could even approach the way he wrote music, but I was inspired by reading one of Richard Dawkins' books called Unweaving the Rainbow, in which he makes a plea for integrating science in the arts. And I thought, why not just write a song that simply assumes the fact of science? This song is called "It's Only Natural." Still in D flat. Thanks to Galileo for showing us our humble place in outer space. And thanks to Mr. Darwin for showing us the origin of the human race. Which means that our precious romance is maybe the product of chance. And these feelings of love so frenetic are just genetic. It's only natural that I would want you. It's only natural that you want me. A million years of evolution had its way, so we can blame it on our parents' DNA. I move instinctively in your direction. Somehow you signal me to turn and see. You will always be my natural selection. As a voluntary choice, naturally. only natural that you want me. A million years of evolution had its way, so we can blame it on our parents' DNA. I move instinctively in your direction. Somehow you signal me to turn and see. You will always be my natural selection. As a voluntary choice, naturally. Okay, another song I don't do much. Do I have time for one more song, basically?
Oh, you got time for about 20 or 30 more.
Oh, is that about it?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Take the rest of the day.
I'm doing a new CD. We have 2 CDs. We actually have 3 CDs. There's a 2 CD collection of a lot of this music. And then so I'm in the studio last week doing some of these new songs, including a brand new song, which I'm not going to do for you today, because Annie Laurie made me promise to save it for our convention in Portland in a couple of weeks. Last year at our convention in Hartford, Connecticut, we gave an award to Charles Strauss. Were some of you there at our convention? You saw that? Remember Charles Strauss? He's the Broadway composer who wrote Annie. And by the way, Annie's being revived this fall. I think it's soon, next month. And so instead of giving a speech to accept his award, Charles Strauss said, "Do you mind if I just go to the piano and play some songs?" He's in his 80s. And it was just gorgeous what he did. But during dinner, there was a film crew there, some documentary people were filming his life or something. So during dinner we're talking, and there's this microphone popping up between us, like, you know, it's kind of weird. But he turned to me and he said, "Hey Dan, I've never written a song about non-belief or atheism or any of that. Send me some lyrics and I'll set them to music."
Wow.
And so I did, and he did. So it's a gorgeous little tune. It's called Poor Little Me, which I'd love to sing for you, but I promised Annie Laurie. I'm just dying to release the song and sing it. It's already been recorded. But in a couple of weeks, in a week and a half from now, we'll debut it in Portland. And then you can hear. I'll play it on the radio, and then you can hear it on the radio show. But anyway. But here's a song I don't get to do much that often, which I really like. I didn't write the words. It was Wallace D. McCrae, a cowboy poet, wrote a poem called Reincarnation. And I set it to music. So just to prove that we don't just pick on Christians all the time. We pick on other religious points of view as well. It's called Reincarnation. What does reincarnation mean? A cowpoke asked his friend. His pal replied, it starts in when your life has reached its end. They comb your hair and wash your neck, clean your fingernails, and they lay you in a padded box, away from life's travails. The box in you goes in a hole that's been dug into the ground. Reincarnation starts in when you're planted neath a mound. Them clods melt down just like your box, and you who is inside. And then you're just beginning on your transformation ride. In a while the grass will grow upon your rendered mound, until someday on your moldered grave a lonely flower is found. And say a hoss should wander by and graze upon this flower that once was you but now became your vegetative bower. The posy that the hoss done ate up with his other feed makes bone and fat and muscle essential for the steed. But some is left that he can't use, and so it passes through, and finally it lays upon the ground this thing that once was you. And say by chance chance I wanders by, and I sees this on the ground, and I wonders and I ponders at this object that I found. I thinks of reincarnation, of life and death and such, and I come away concluding, Slim, you ain't changed all that much. Well, then let me end with another country tune. Country's not my favorite style, but I like country that's done well. My mother loved country music, and she listened to it her whole life. And so when she was in the hospital, I told Mom, I'm going to write a song for you because you love this kind of style, and this is going to be you. She became an atheist, too, after I did, which is pretty neat. It's rare when the parents follow the children, isn't it? But it happened in my parents' case. And she once told a reporter, it's so great. She was a Sunday school teacher. She was a churchgoer, and she raised us all to be good believers. But she finally rejected it all, too. And she said, I'm so happy as an atheist, I don't have to hate anymore, she said. So she was in and out of the hospital. She had a rough time in her early 70s. And so I said, Mom, I'm writing a song for you. This will be great. I'm going to record it. I'm going to bring you this song that really expresses your point of view and all that. And I had it all recorded. I had the CD made, and I was getting on the plane to take it to her. But I was too late. My brother called and said, Dan, this time she didn't. So she never heard it. So at the graveside memorial, then I got to play this song, and everybody said, yep, that's Patsy. Tries to tell me I need to choose a God to love, but after looking them all over, I'll take none of the above. I am happy in the natural world, like a hand fits in a glove. Only sinners need a Savior, I'll take none of the above. Why talk to me of heaven? What makes you think I want to go? When it's right here in the real world, where the milk and honey flow. You preachers and messiahs, what were you thinking of? Don't need to fix what isn't broken. I'll take none of the above. Talk to me of heaven. What makes you think I want to go? When it's right here in the real world, where the milk and honey flow. You preachers and messiahs, what were you thinking of? Don't need to fix what isn't broken. I'll take none of the above.